Alaska Native Heritage Center is a museum showcasing native Alaskan heritages and culture and what have you. Let's check it out.
And every totem pole tells a different story, and that was their way of telling stories, was through totem poles and songs. And so they would have master carvers carve out these totem poles, and they would use, for these large trees, they would have Sitka spruce, red cedar, and yellow cedar. And so there is 7 totem poles that we have here at the Heritage Center. So there is one totem pole behind everybody. There's one at the garden. There's one by the carving shed, which is next to the...
Whereas Alaska, and welcome to the Alaska Native Heritage Center. All of us at the Heritage Center are all very happy to meet with you all, and we hope you come back here again. Thank you. I speak 2 languages, English and Inupiaq Eskimo. In Alaska, we do not mind being called Eskimo. If you are from Canada or Greenland, I'm sorry if I offended you. If you go to Canada or Greenland, call them Inuit. Inuit means people. I understand everybody in this orange color up here, including Russia, Siberia, including Canada and Greenland. We speak the same language. When we hear each other speak from Canada or Greenland, we always have to say, huh, huh. You have to repeat because we use the same words they use, different meaning. So we speak the same language but different dialects. That's why we always have to say, huh, huh. And my relatives in Russia are Siberian Eskimo. I can understand them, but they speak with a different accent because over there, their second language is Russian. So they sound a little bit different from me. Is that you get a person from Australia speaking English versus an American, we can recognize the Australian accent and the American accent, and we can understand both. I was raised by my paternal grandmother, my father's mother, and my grandmother was half-breed. She was half white man, half Eskimo. Even though she was half white, she spoke our. When we go hunting for walrus, we have to go in the sea, the Bering Sea, and we're supposed to take a compass. This was back in the 1940s when we used to get into a lot of trouble because we used to go back and forth to Russia. Back in the 40s, we did not have to have a passport to go to Russia. If we wanted to go see our relatives, we did not have to call Juneau, the state capital, nor do we have to call Moscow, the capital of Russia. If we want to go to Russia, we go to a chief. A chief is like the government in this village. We start to sing to the walrus chief. That means walrus spirit. So we sing to the walrus spirit, and we thank the walrus spirit for allowing us to hunt walrus, and we promise the walrus. This is what we've gone through.
This is a list of Catholic priests who are known to have abused native Alaskan children in the name of trying to save them for religious reasons. And they are called the credible. So this is a pretty big list. Their abuse of children has been proven, admitted, or credibly accused and accepted by the Catholic Church themselves. These are the only claims acknowledged by the Catholic Church at this time, which means there could be names not listed in here who are also the accused, or who are also the real culprit. These are the replicas of native Alaskans, Inuits or Eskimos made their kayaks with animal skins and some wood as skeletons. They used these to get onto the Arctic region to hunt for seals, for orcas, for whales, and for some other large animals. Totem poles made by native Alaskans. Living by the water. A wood house built according to Alaskan traditions. It's another totem pole. An Alaskan native dwelling made from dirt, a dirt mound. Animal skins, animal bones, and wood ores. These are animal skins. Animal skins. Ores. And tools made from wood. And I don't know what that is for. There's a bird feather. This is the skeleton of a gray whale. Looks like a dinosaur to me, but it's the skeleton of a whale. That's a polar bear skin. It's a pretty large polar bear. And this is the tusk of some kind of whale or something. It didn't say. This is a whaling harpoon. Yeah. The harpoon is used to kill a whale. So this pair of bones are the ribs, from the ribs of a whale. And each one of these ribs is about almost 4 meters high. So 30 feet, no, 4 meters, 12, 15 feet. This is one rib. Each one of them is probably a few hundred pounds. Just imagine the size of a whale. Just massive. This is another native house.
Yeah, a lot of Alaska natives, they still use the medicinal herbs today. Yeah, but that's pretty cool.
What's underneath here?
That is the winter entrance right there. In
Oh.
this region of Alaska, they have 2 different entrances.
So-
There's a diagram outside if you have a hard time.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I have one more question about that. They put it in, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
So they made it like a tea.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
They also make stuff into salves as well.
Oh,
we actually have
to put it on a wound.
we actually have Devil's Club salve as well. I've heard that helps with like arthritis or anything like that. I'm not too sure though. I'm still learning about my plants.
That's okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What material is this really made out of?
That would have been made out of seal intestine. It would have been the women who worked on it.
Seal intestine?
Yeah, but that's not made out of actual seal intestine. We have it up there though if you look for it. But seal intestine, it doesn't survive really well, especially in an environment that fluctuates, so that is artificial. But the woman would rinse it out 50 to 100 times until the water ran clear. And then they would blow it up like a balloon, and then once it dried like that, they would then cut it into strips and then sew it together with a piece of beachside grass between it. And so if water leaked through the seams, that beachside grass would expand, causing an even more watertight seal. But yeah, if you look at it, it has a really wide bottom. The reason why it has a really wide bottom is so that there would actually be a cinch on it. So you're able to put that wide bottom around the rim of your kayak over there, and then you'd cinch it to your kayak. So the cinch also went around your wrists like this and your face. And so if you ever flipped over, if water splashed on you, the only thing that would get wet was your hands and your face.
It's almost like a life vest or something.
Not really a life vest. It was more so like a rain jacket.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because they did carry gear in their kayaks.
So the Alaskan natives, whether it's Athabascans or Inuits or Eskimos, they were basically hunter-gatherers. There is no agricultural activity in the territory of Alaska and Yukon and this general area. Basically, they take these kayaks, these canoes, up and down all of the massive network of rivers. The biggest river in Alaska is the Yukon River, the Tanana River, the Susitna River, the Kuskokwim River and Kenai, the Kayukuk, these are Eskimo names, and Copper River. Actually, I have driven through most of these rivers, Tanana River, Yukon River, the Kenai, the Copper River. I've driven through all of them. And so basically they kayak and boat up and down these river systems to go after the fish. And then they capture the fish, and of course if they're near the coastal region, they will try to capture the whales, the seals, and possibly polar bears, I guess. And according to the people who according to the people who work here, they also capture the what was the name? Walruses. Yeah, those are gigantic seal-like animals with big tusks. If they capture one of them, it's enough to feed the whole village for a whole year, because those things are weighed in tons. I mean, a whale will be many, many tons, and it will be enough to feed a large population for a long time. So the Alaskan natives, they really subsist on animal fats. There's very little agricultural activity, and the fact they subsist on animal fats and without getting cardiac problems, cardiovascular diseases, is a good reason for people to believe that fish oils is good for the heart. Otherwise, how can they not get in heart diseases and cardiovascular diseases? Because they primarily live on animal fats. The animal fats will be, I guess, the seals and whales and all of that, and of course salmons. They eat a lot of salmons. That's that pair of whale ribs in the distance across the pond. Just imagine the size of that whale. If you just look at the ribs, there's a little bit of ducklings in the water.
We played by 20 children of this region, so it was a progressive game. It went for distance. It was 3 consecutive jumps. The first 2 jumps are 2 broad jumps, and then the third jump hops up to 1. Stabbing the dowel onto the ground, making sure she's balanced. However, if the dowel does knock off, just as long as she's balanced. This game was done throughout the cultures of Alaska as well. The Yupik and the Inupiaq also practiced this game, but it was a different variation. And the reason why they played this kind of game was for fun as well, and for when they were out fishing for ice fish. They had to play this kind of game to keep themselves warm and pass time when the fish were passing by, or while they were waiting for the fish to pass by. So he was just right under the ball. He has about 2 more attempts to get it successfully. And that is a successful hit.
Competitions, just like state basketball. And to qualify for state, you have to go through regionals or prelims. So we have other competitions that help us qualify for state. And then we have our World Eskimo Indian Olympics, otherwise known as WEO, and that's held in Fairbanks every July. And that was actually one of our first competitions. And it doesn't matter what age you are to participate in that, but you do have to at least be an 8th native. And she competed in the Aka high kick. Aka means grandma.
Whoa, nice.
Go ahead.
So that was the
She said she got it. So there are no style points to do these events. Just as long as you contact the ball in any way. Oh, you kind of gave up like the last second. So she said she did bring her hips all the way up. So that's pretty great self-observation. That's something that athletes need. So once they got that self-observation, they know what to improve on. Just say one more time.
I know you should pick this high. Are you asking what would happen if both of our feet would touch the ground? So if both of our feet touch the ground, we wouldn't count that as an attempt. So only your base hand and your kicking foot can touch the ground. In competition, you do have...
Whoa!
Did somebody have a question over here?
What's the ball made of?
The ball is made out of seal skin.
Oh my God! Good. Whoa.
So that was the